Have you checked the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Rob the Wolfman.
And Jaime and Fuego here, back for some more patron action, and this is the second entry, as Robert was just reinforming me, in the John Carpenter Apocalypse Trilogy. Yes, we be talking Prince of Darkness, and this was requested by
John Farrelly.
Farrelly.
I hope I am saying your last
Yes.
name right, good sir.
So thank you very much, dude. You're a fresher name on here compared to some of the others, so greatly appreciate you making us watch this for what I can't remember if I had seen this many, many years ago and just didn't remember it for shit, but I know you had said that this was the first time watch.
This was the first time watch for it and everything. It's always been like in the watch list and everything. It's like, oh yeah, I need to watch that, and never got back around to it and everything. It's like I'm definitely glad I got around to watching it. It was fun. So jumping in real quick to overall thoughts.
Yeah.
I had a hell of a lot of fun with this movie, between the performances, the effects, even like the little cameo we get from Alice Cooper.
Yep, it's one of them hobos.
Yeah. And what's funny is like even for like the small little bits, like what 2 maybe 3 scenes we got of Cooper. Yeah. He was creepy.
Oh yeah.
Like he did really good. It's just
I don't know if he had got sober by that point or not, but he had this like just the caginess to just his appearance and his demeanor and everything, man. He sold it well.
He definitely did. Well, he didn't say a damn word either.
Yeah, I don't think he had a single bit of dialogue.
Nope, it was just those brooding Alice Cooper eyes.
Not wearing the aforementioned makeup. That,
he was pale as the moon. Yeah. Like literally.
Yeah, and also overall impressions, I have to mention the score. This is legit one of my favorite Carpenter scores. It is very moody and brooding and just at times minimalistic, I gotta say, but the use of synth is so just evocative of this brooding, building, impending doom that the film is all about. And whether I watched it before or whatever, I don't remember it, and I'm glad that I did, because this was one of the most unique things that I think Carpenter did, the horror master, as he calls himself on Twitter. No arrogance there whatsoever, but the cast as well.
I don't know, at this point, I'm gonna let him have that.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been him or Craven. Some would also argue like a Romero possibly or whatever. But it's between Carpenter and Craven for me. But yeah, dude, this film it's very intriguing, especially for me from the religious upbringing that I had, and being a Reformed Baptist and the son of a Bible teacher and all that stuff. I mean, I had so much crammed down my throat. I was like choking at various different points, and I know there's sexual innuendo there. Don't go there, guys. But
it's not a sin.
yeah. But nonetheless, this was an intriguing watch. I can't say I was like I adored it or anything, but it's a very unique entry in the Carpenter catalog, and pretty much nothing else that he has done over the course of his career. And I wish he would get back to directing something. He hasn't since the Ward, I think it was called, that last one that he did like maybe 15, 17 years ago at this particular point.
I think so. I don't actually know if I even got around to watch that one. It sounds familiar.
It's not very good. It's not very good, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Yeah, but this film was very intriguing and very unique as far as Carpenter stuff goes, and I definitely enjoyed it and found it quite intriguing. So.
Indubitably.
Yes. So hit that story, sir.
Yes.
You watched it a little more recently.
I did. Yeah. So basically, the story is a group of college students are recruited by a priest to help prevent the end of the world via the Antichrist, and that's basically the short and sweet of it. There's this there's this green liquid that is found in an abandoned church by our main priest, who is Donald Pleasant, who played Dr. Loomis in the Halloween series, and he recruits what was his name?
I cannot remember, sir.
Wong.
Victor Wong?
Victor Wong.
Yes.
Victor Wong and everything from Tremors, things like that.
Various other things over the years.
Various other things. And he recruits various other college students to help him figure out what this liquid is and how to prevent it from getting out and causing the end of the world. And then we basically go through literally a night locked in the abandoned church of them being terrorized and in a sense possessed.
Yeah, where they set up like an entire research facility.
Oh yeah, they go full bore and everything. And this movie actually was pretty stacked with known actors. Whether like they're more on, I would say a couple of them were like, oh hey, that one guy from that one thing.
Lots of familiar faces.
Exactly,
like
familiar
lots
faces.
of bit players.
Exactly, you might not
from
know
the
their names, but you definitely know them as actors, and they did great.
Yeah.
So going off the story and everything, jumping into acting, nobody fell short in this movie.
I didn't think so either. I thought everybody had their own like specific flavor and essence of like smarts and intelligence.
Exactly.
Now, and there's a lot of these medical like kind of students, medical and sciencey students, I guess, that they have on board to prevent this, like, I guess Lucifer like resurrection sort of thing, which is what they hint at. But yeah, I didn't think anybody fell short either, and even our ominous Alice Cooper, as you mentioned, but really for me the biggest players were Wong and Pleasance, and just the intriguing essence that they brought, but also this like cautious haphazardness where they know they're kind of playing with fire by actually veering into this situation of research and stuff. And so it was cool to see in this film the duality of both the science and the religion, and how all the time
how
people
keeps budding and everything. It's like this can't be true. Well, why can't it be true? You're looking at it with your own eyes.
Yeah, and Victor Wong, man, he has some of my favorite lines of like just. He's got some great bits of exposition, like explaining the situation and how you think that science and religion are mutually exclusive and they can't work in conjunction with each other. But that's what this movie really epitomizes in a lot of ways. And that's where, Pleasance and Wong and just their dynamic and, coming together and trying to find that neutral ground, and how maybe they're not as divisive as you might expect. And so, yeah, they were my two favorite parts. And granted, you've got like some little love interesty flings going on with some of these people here and there.
Yeah, well, that I kind of had a laugh about and everything, because it was like within what they met at one point, and then about 3 hours later, she's in his bed and everything.
Yeah.
Like they've been dating for a month. It's like, oh, that was quick. It's the mustache, wasn't it? Like,
it was a pretty killer mustache. I
like,
mean, it was on par with Selleck, dude.
Like it was a pretty good one, but at the same time, it's like, man, this damn mustache.
Who wants a
gotta go.
mustache ride? I do. So,
all right, let's get back to brass tacks here.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so we touched on score at least a little bit already, so I don't know if we necessarily need to veer too much more into that.
I wouldn't.
How about the effects?
The effects is what the shining point, I think, with this movie was.
And there is that one iconic scene with the woman with the face and all that different stuff,
Yep. After the possession, in a sense. Yep.
Yeah. And
that looked really cool, especially because the body changes that the character was going through.
And that sort of like it ends up essentially becoming like kind of a possession movie as things go on, and so but also from a cinematography standpoint, Carpenter, like the way he filmed the set design too, the insides of this like a long abandoned church and stuff, and the big grandiosity of this like vat that this green goopy goo is stuffed in is it was creepy, man. It was nasty.
Well,
slimy.
That too, but also it's like with it being shot in one building, through the whole thing, like Carpenter made it seem much larger than what it was.
He did.
That was the other thing too. Like, even going back to when we got outside for like one of our first initial kills. That
I think it is the first kill in the movie. If
when he's in the alleyway, how that was shot right there was beautiful. But the simplicity was where it shined too. Like even with certain like things for score. Yeah. Simplicity sometimes works better than over complex sounds.
Yeah, it's like overthinking things. It's so easy, it's hard sort of situation.
Yep. And you could definitely see that with the certain scenes in this. They were shot pretty simply, but it was the overall set design and the lighting. It just amplified everything so much more.
Now, so how do you think this stacks up compared to? I mean, that's the thing. Like, this is the middle entry in this Apocalypse trilogy.
This is honestly the third.
This is the third, but that's not to.
Well, no, I'm saying out of like in a sense like
as far as the timeline goes,
a top and everything. I would say this would be the third. My third favorite and everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like between.
So even though it wasn't the third release, which was in the Mouth of Madness,
exactly.
And then
The Mouth of Madness was the official.
Yeah.
Kind of the ending apocalypse of the world in that trilogy.
Yeah.
But no, to be honest, it'd be The Thing, Mouth of Madness, and then Prince of Darkness for the best out of the trilogy.
But that's not to knock this film.
No, not at all.
I almost purchased the Scream Factory version of this on Amazon right after watching it because I was like, this is one that I would like to revisit and also really watch some of the supplemental material. If they have some interviews with Carpenter talking about just some of his motivation. I don't believe he wrote the script to this one, if I'm not mistaken, but just why he wanted
he
to...
Did.
Why? Oh, he did. Okay.
He did.
So what the compulsion was to tell this particular story, and just like some of his approach and mindset with the with the creative kind of approach here. I would be intrigued to see that.
No, most definitely. And like even what you're saying, like going back to just to revisit this, I would definitely like to go back and revisit as well, just because there's guaranteed a lot of detail that I even missed on like my 1.5 watches of this and everything. And that's one thing with certain movies I like going back and rewatching, because there's so many more details on little background things that are happening that you never noticed.
It is like looking at it through a different set of eyes.
And that's a lot of what I've noticed, especially with even like The Thing and At the Mouth of Madness. Going back and rewatching those movies as many times as I have, there's consistently still new things that I've noticed that I've never noticed before.
And that's what the best movies epitomize, is that rewatchability. And if you just like focus on something else as opposed to just the main driving force,
Exactly.
I mean, you can continue to discover new shit. So there you go.
Yep.
Oh
I really think
I
that's
think
about
that's
going to cover on this movie. If
yeah.
you guys haven't watched this, get up off your ass and
do it.
Either rent it or buy it. It's on Prime.
Oh, was it on Prime? Okay.
Yeah, yep. It's on Prime. That's where I ended up renting it from.
Man, I think okay, so you rented it on Prime.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think it's streaming on any sort of service, so you would need to you would need to drop them ducats.
It's only a couple bucks. It's really not that much, but it's worth it.
I think I spent like $3.99. That's not terrible.
I think that's about what I paid. But yeah, if you guys haven't watched this, but you've watched the other two in the Apocalypse trilogy from Carpenter,
which are a little more well known, I would say.
They are extremely more well known, I would say.
Such a Kane, and obviously The Thing goes without saying. It's Cecil's favorite horror movie of all time. So. And up there for me. But Prince of Darkness, even though it may be the weakest in the trilogy, this film is it's a very just intriguing portion in the Carpenter catalog,
and
as I said before.
It definitely had its individual strong points that held out on its own.
Yeah, and one of my favorite Carpenter scores ever. It is legitimately up there with the strongest things that he has done.
Yeah, and that's what him and I actually were talking about a little bit off camera. About the scores, like this one especially resonated and caught my ear a lot more than certain other movies. Like I've said on other reviews, I like my soundtracks with lyrics and everything. You can get more into the feeling of the scene and the characters and what they're going through. With the instrumental with this, it actually worked out very well. It was simple, but that dark 80s kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, dark synth approach in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the forebodingness kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this more so than maybe any other Carpenter film, because like even with The Thing and Mouth of Madness, some of the other things that he has done, I feel like they are so story centric that the score is just an added bonus. Whereas for this, I feel like the score was instrumental in really setting the mood of this film.
I agree.
Big time.
I agree.
Time. I don't think this film would have been anywhere near successful, especially with some of the... It's edited in a slightly odd fashion, I think, as far as driving the narrative forward. It's almost got like this dreaminess to it, and the score really just puts you in that sort of vibe. It's very much crucial for the film's success, the score in the way it was constructed.
Agreed.
Cool. So thanks again.
Indeed. If you guys want to become a patron, links are down here in the description. Hit that box. We got tier lists for every month. We got boogie boxes. Tell us what movies and everything you want us to watch, review, all that good stuff. Tell us what to do, guys. Come on.
Do it up. And obviously, a grande gracias to Cy Fairley once again, and we appreciate your support of our channel. Helps us keep the lights on, man.
Of course. And remember, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. See all of our beautiful faces, all the new videos that we post.
Yes, like and share and subscribe and all of that.
Indeed.
We appreciate it.
But from everyone here at the Horror Show, I'm Robert the Wolfman.
And gracias a Jaime in Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.